Alright, welcome back to Plumpap Garage here. We got another tool here to look at. It's been almost a year or so here. I did a couple videos last year. Weren't that great of videos. I was using my phone and it was just messed up, some of them, and it just wasn't that great. So I got some different recording equipment this year. And I felt like doing some more videos. I sort of lost interest last year, so I don't know, we're just going to give it a try here. So what we got here is the Igaging 1.4 to 6 inch dial bore gauge. Graduations of 1/2 thousandths, which is on the dial part. This is like $70 on Amazon, about, I think. And this is what you get. You get this here. It's a pretty decent gauge here for what I'm using it for. Pretty much what this is for is measuring something like a cylinder bore or a precision hole that you have that you need to get a measurement from. The other way you can measure a hole is with these here telescoping gauges. This is just a cheap set I picked up a while ago. These work good for some stuff, but the dial bore gauge is mainly used for people that need to do a lot of measuring bores, and like if you're measuring a V8 engine cylinder bores to be rebuilt and stuff, and you want to measure a lot of holes in a decent timing, you want to get something like this. It's just a lot more easier and quicker to use than the telescoping gauges. Maybe I'll do a video on how to use telescoping gauges. But this is really the way to go whenever you want to do something like that. And so we'll just look at it here. You got this here piece is an interchangeable, I don't know what you want to call it, anvil that switches on here. It's for 1.4 to 2 inches. That's for your smaller increments. Then you got this barrel here. This is for this is a 2-inch barrel. This is for like probably your 6-inch holes and stuff and whatnot. You got these little spacers here, if you can see, that go in between your pins here. I'll show you that later. Then you got your pin sizes here for whatever size you want. You can see there's, like, if it focuses here, there's a little ball in the end of that rocks back and forth on the bore you're measuring to get it as accurate as we can. So I mean, everything seems pretty decent. The only thing I can notice is this smaller pin and this smaller pin have a noticeably different finish on them. I don't know if you can notice that. It's not quite as shiny and nice as the rest of them, which isn't a big deal. And there's also an extra slot here for another spacer. I don't know if that got lost in the shipping, or it doesn't even have it marked on here, so maybe it wasn't even supposed to come with one. Now I got this about a year ago, and they do have like a protective cover that goes over this, but I couldn't figure out how to put it on for the life of me. It just got in the way, so I removed it. It wasn't really necessary. You could, if you really want, you could get a smaller smaller indicator for even smaller increments, like, you know, 1/10 of a thousandth or so. But this should be good for what I'm using it for, which is measuring cylinder bores and stuff. So pretty much how to use this, we're gonna let's see here. We're gonna measure this cylinder bore here, and I already got pretty much you go online or whatever, your manual, find out what size bore this is supposed to be. This here bore is supposed to be 2.64 inches, which is an odd size because this is a metric cylinder bore. This is a Honda motorcycle jug. So we want to measure to 1.64. Now you don't want to, so what you want to do is you want to find the anvils you're going to need. So I'm going to go with the 2.6, which doesn't quite give us enough, so I'm going to get the 50,000 spacer, which is going to bring us up to 2.65, which should be enough. If the bore is bigger than that, I'm probably going to have some problems, so it should be good. And then you just tighten this here deal up. And what you have there is you got it like this. So this is supposed to be, should be about 2.65, I don't know exactly. And you can see here, if it focuses here, this is your little, that's what runs the indicator. There's a shaft in here that pushes on the indicator up here. So now what you're gonna need is if you even think about buying one of these, you need a good set of micrometers for the sizes you're going to be working with. So for this size, I'm going to need a 2 to 3 inch micrometer. This is just a cheap micrometer I picked up a while ago. Not a very high quality set, but I don't use it very often right now, so there's probably not any reason for me to get a expensive set right now. Maybe later on if I start doing stuff like that. So pretty much what you do is, since this bore size is supposed to be 2.64, you set your micrometer to 2.64. I'm going to try and do this here the best I can. But pretty much, I'll probably do this off camera, but you want to get this right in the middle of your anvil and get this, get it right in the middle of your anvils and rock it back and forth a little bit till you get the... Here, I wonder if I can show you here. It's a little tricky to do without setting it down or something. So you can see how it rocks back, and you can rock it back and forth. And you just want to go here. I guess I'm out of the camera. And you just want to go till you get the highest reading on that dial. And then you want to zero your bezel here. Put it on 0 so that 0 is 2.64 inches. So I'm gonna probably do that off camera here, get it all finished up. You really want to try and do your best at this part, because this is really gonna be the it's gonna be the base point for all your measurements. So you want to make sure you do this as accurately as you can. I mean, even if it takes you like 10 minutes to try and do it, you want to make sure you do it right. So let me get this set for you. Alright, so I got this all set up here. I got this set as 0 as 2.64. Now a good tip to take is, I'm out in the shed here, it's like, I don't know, probably 30 degrees out. You probably want to take your measurements with all your tools and equipment like pretty warm. Because that's like at these big companies that machine precision parts, they usually have their measurement room or quality inspection rooms at like 70 degrees, I guess. So that's another good tip to think about, having it warm while you're measuring it. So pretty much, I'll just show you. You rock this. Well, you find where you want to measure at. You usually want to, on a cylinder bore like this, you want to measure at the top, middle, and bottom is usually what I say, because there can be a distortion of taper in your bore. So you want to just rock it at the top. And here, I'll show you if I can get it. You can see we're like half a thou over, which would put us at 2.645. So I think that's within spec. I'd have to check, I forget. I've just had this sitting around. You want to check both ways too, because it could be out of round. And pretty much that's what you do. You want to You want to take this in at an angle like this, so it's not like, because it's not going to go down like this. You want to do it like this, and these little wheels here, they slide in and out, which help. I don't know what it keeps it steady in the bore, I guess. And you just do rocking back and forth. You just rock it back and forth in the bore until you get the highest reading, because you can see once you go so far, it starts to drop off. Same way if you go down. So you want to get your highest measurement, and you pretty much just jot these down. This is just a quick video about how to do this. And now another tip is I just had this out the other day and had it set for this. So another good suggestion is whenever you make sure you always set it when you put your pin and stuff in, because it can change. It's just a good habit to make sure of. And so now I think the thing I need to talk about is if this is a good dial bore gauge or not. And I would say this is this isn't the cheapest crappy dial bore gauge you can get. This is, I'd say, middle of the road. This is for somebody that doesn't is gonna use it every once in a while, because I'm probably not gonna use this all the time. And every once in a while if I do a motor rebuild or something. So keep that in mind, because if you use this frequently, it might not last as long. And I don't know, I think the quality is pretty decent, but the only thing to think about is the other day I just noticed, I took this out of the case and was moving it around, and I heard something shaking around in here. There was a screw that was either not even installed or just it fell out somehow and was rolling around in there. So I don't know if that was a problem in manufacturing or what. So that's just something to keep in mind, that these aren't quite as, I think this is a China product, honestly. I can't remember. I do have some, I don't know about you, but I don't quite like knowing that a screw was left loose in here or wasn't even put in at all. But I mean, you might not have that problem if you order this or not. So I'd say it's a pretty decent one, but it's just really comes down to how much you're going to use it or not. If you're watching this video because you don't even know what a dial bore gauge is, this would probably be a good one for you, because you're probably not going to use it a lot. Unless you're just, this is a good starting point for just getting into it, I would say. And I mean, the case is pretty decent. I mean, you might not even store it in the case, I don't know. So I mean, this is a pretty good buy for someone that's not going to use it a lot, is my standpoint on it. I don't know, I've never really had any other eye gauging products, so I don't know what the quality of the rest of their lineup is. But this here seems to be pretty alright for the price, and depending on how much you're going to use it. So, thanks for tuning in to Plumpap Garage here. We're going to try and get some more videos out. I got a bunch of stuff I can do, some looks at and reviews, so this is just the beginning. I'd like to do some tech videos and stuff, so I guess we'll just see how it goes, and thanks for tuning in.